The world of comedians is more popular than ever. Everyone's got a podcast and a social media following. But amidst all the noise, there's one comedian who's rising faster than everyone else, growing like crazy, and has developed a true cult following among his fans. Theo Von is selling out massive shows on his comedy tour, and his podcast is consistently one of the top ranked in the world. But even more so than the vanity metrics, Theo has a loyal fan base who feel a genuine connection to him. How does he do it? Let's dive into what makes Theo Von so special. The thing Theo is perhaps best known for is his out-of-pocket stream of consciousness sayings.
Okay. I like your body.
And that brings us to the first thing. Theo doesn't filter his thoughts or try to change himself for other people. He just says exactly what comes to mind, even if it's weird or offensive.
They're delicious, but they make you want to pee.
Make you want to beat your wife, too, dude. I've seen a lot of dudes drinking Monster that you know they're going home to punch.
It's important to note that Theo does this with good intentions. He's rarely, if ever, trying to demean people. He just says what comes to mind. So many people filter for what they think others want to hear that it's refreshing to hear the unfiltered truth, even if it's sometimes a little offensive. It also means that you can trust that person when they give you a compliment.
Thanks for the compliment, man. It's really sweet of you.
The second thing Theo does is he operates with a friend-first mentality, meaning he doesn't try to tell others what to do. He doesn't act like he's better than you. He just shares his story and treats you like a friend.
This isn't a sob story I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm trying to tell you how I ended up getting into Alcoholics Anonymous. For me, I'm not saying you need to do this. I don't know your life. I don't know your world.
It's the same idea when he takes calls from listeners on his podcast in response to them.
Gang.
That's part of the reason he often gets responses like this.
I wanted to tell you thanks and that you want to learn, man. You know, there's a ton of days where your podcast was the only time I smiled that day, so keep doing the Lord's work, man. Take care of yourself.
But it's more than just what he says, it's also how he says it. Which brings us to number 3. Theo's humor is uniquely his. He has a very distinct word choice. Most people have the same basic way of describing things. You ask how their weekend was and they say good. One of the things that Theo is known for is his hilarious way of describing things.
You know, a hat is just a little apartment for your head, really.
A possum's a scavenger.
Okay.
I call them ground buzzards.
Oh, yeah, forest shrimp, they call them sometimes.
Yeah, and
Bees are Satan's little German shepherds. You know, spring is when winter kind of gets lazy.
I'm not sure if this is related, but he's also surprisingly good at Wordle.
Bam, Phil.
what? Get the fuck out of here!
There's more to Theo than just his humor, though. If he were only funny, he'd be the same as a million other comedians. But the next thing that makes Theo successful is that he is okay being vulnerable. Theo's fans love him obviously because he's funny, but even more so because he shares real emotional stories of struggles he's gone through. He's not perfect and he doesn't try to be. He's also gone through a lot of struggles like battling cocaine addiction and mental health issues. And by opening up about them, he uses that vulnerability as a strength.
But do you never see that showing weakness can be a strength too?
Not weakness, vulnerability. To admit to the fact that you're vulnerable, that's a form of courage. That's not a form of weakness.
Another reason people feel they can trust Theo is because he's interested in talking to everyone, not just people who can get him something. Theo will bring a lot of unique guests onto his podcast, people that a lot of others might not typically have. The key factor in who he'll have on is simply who he's interested in talking to. He doesn't just invite the biggest celebrities or the people who would go the most viral. He also treats everyone the same regardless of their status. He doesn't act like he's better than them. This even means lightly joking around with people who others might not.
Yeah.
A little bit of champagne.
The champagne.
Yeah.
The scotch.
Yeah, a little scotch. Damn, okay. Dang, bro. If I have too much scotch, I'll have Down syndrome, bro.
In today's world, it seems like everyone is trying to seem like an expert. Everyone makes it look like they have it all together. By comparison, Theo isn't afraid to look like a fool. His main goal is to have fun and have a good conversation. This means he'll ask stupid questions because he wants to know the answer. Or at least he's just trying to be funny. Honestly, sometimes it's hard to tell.
And the kids used to throw not snowballs at my head, but ice rocks.
Oh, wow. Why, you collected them or something?
No, I don't. No one collects ice rocks. Like,
Oh, people were
icicles.
being mean.
I saw a horrible video the other day of these dudes were racing horses. They're running, and a dog, a yappy dog, runs out onto the track, and the horse trips over the dog, and the guy dies.
What, was the dog running out there to tell him something or something?
This allows the other person to let their guard down because you know he's not putting up a front and pretending to be someone smart. So the other person feels like they don't have to pretend either. And the final thing that makes Theo so likable is that he has a crazy variety of experiences. Theo goes out and does stuff. He takes risks, goes to weird parties. Basically, he says yes to a lot of things and then lets the chips fall where they may. Most people's lives are so boring that they instantly attach to anyone whose life is interesting. That's why social media and TV is filled with people living vicariously through other people doing interesting things. And the idea with this is that even if these experiences don't go well, he at least gets a good story out of it. All of these come together to make Theo a hilarious and unique person in a world of hilarious and unique people.